All right, guys, this is, I don't know what happened to my last video, and I really don't care because this message is still going to come out, and I know that it's meant for you. This message is meant for those that are generational cycle breakers, those that have been stuck in generational cyclicosis. And look, the thing just came back on again. Oh my gosh, what in the world? All right, guys, so I know this message is definitely meant to get out to you guys today, but who's dealing with generational cyclicosis? If that's you, this message is for you. If you're a generational cycle breaker, again, listen up very closely. I received this download a few days ago during February when I could not make a video. I was told to rest. I was told to just be and allow, and I kept trying to force doing videos and force doing things because of the goal that I have, and just because I just really love sharing things with people. I think I have so much stuff that's within me on my phone, in my notes, that I don't even know how I'm supposed to really just get it all out. So, but I was stopped, okay? I was put in, like, I was frozen in time where I just had to really just receive. So now I'm here, and I'm here to deliver this message to you guys. Those of you that are generational cycle breakers, this is for you. So I know that a lot of times when people explain breaking cycles, generational cycles, and being the black sheep of the family and different things like that, they explain certain things, and they kind of tell you, like, most of the time when you're doing shadow work and stuff, you're going to your childhood. But I need you to go further than that. And let me tell you in two ways. Some things, you're the one that you're not going to be able to track where some of the feelings and different things that you feel that you might not remember, or have like a recollection of, like, you don't have the memory of it happening, but you feel the energy as if something happened, and you cannot put your finger on it. You've been trying to figure it out, and you just don't know where it started. Some of you can't get in contact with your parents or grandparents or anything like that to really kind of figure some things out. And some of you don't have the relationships to be able to pick up the phone and say, hey, look, did you deal with this issue? But you know that you're meant to break these generational cycles. And so that's why you have been in isolation. That's why you have been setting your boundaries. That's why you've been doing this work, and it hasn't been for naught. You know, I was explaining this, and I was saying, like, I was receiving this message, okay, and it was saying that you're not going to be able to track some of the things that you felt. Now I'm gonna give you an example. Some things you are going to be able to track it, but a lot of times people just say go to your parents. And some things are just beyond that. Energetically, and if you can track it physically, that's fine. Physically, I'll give you an example of myself, where my mom, she really didn't say I love you that much, or she wasn't really too nurturing, as much as I would have liked, nurturing wise. She didn't say I love you too many times, didn't give hugs that often, but there are things that she did do. But we're trying to stay focused here. So when I look back, I start feeling like, well, you know, why am I feeling these certain type of ways? And when I start going on my self-discovery, my self-love journey, I start feeling ways I had never felt before. And when I had children, I started realizing, like, whoa, you know, like, of course I already had in my mind, I'm going to say I love you more, I'm going to give hugs more, but it was deeper than that. So then I went to her mom, and I realized when I talked to her, she told me that her mom really didn't say I love you. Her mom wasn't nurturing to her. Then when I go back and I realized that her mother, she transitioned, I say transition instead of die, she transitioned when my grandmother was about 12 or 13 years old. So she didn't even have, like, a mother figure for long enough time for her to really, like, grasp motherhood and nurturing and saying I love you and different things like that. Like, she just had a really rough life. So when you go and you track it like that, I'm like, oh, okay. When you realize that certain feelings that you had, you feel like it's not your own. That's just an example how I can track it. But let's say abandonment. Let's say feeling, having respiratory issues. That's a side effect of having generational cyclicosis. It's being stuck somewhere and being like, why am I having these feelings of these things and I can't pinpoint where it's coming from? You're not going to be able to pinpoint some things. But what I can tell you is that energetically, just know that things are passed down from your bloodline that aren't yours. They weren't yours. And that's why you're going to be the cycle breaker. So for example, when I'm talking about the love, when I started really having a relationship with love and loving myself and different things, I was like, oh my gosh, like I thought I loved myself, but I really didn't love myself. Not loving myself is not my energy. It's not me. I came into this world with love. So the fact that I end up feeling this way of not loving myself, and different things like that, that's not who I am. So now I was able to track certain things, but I couldn't go further than my grandmother, right? But I just knew that this was something that had been passed down and energetically through the bloodline, through our DNA, whatever it is that you want to say, even just energetically, those things are still present. And when we feel like we can't pinpoint the experience that matches what it is that we're feeling, then we understand that it goes beyond just this timeline. And it goes beyond us. So, and it goes beyond our parents. And it goes beyond their parents. It goes further than that. So I'm here to let you know that there are things that you're going to be breaking, you're not going to be able to track. And it's something else that you're holding on to. And you're going to let it go. And when you let it go, it's going to break that cycle. And even the family members that are still here, they're going to be able to see that break. And they're going to break. So as I'm breaking this cycle of not loving yourself, not being able to show love, not feeling comfortable with the energy of love, guess what? When people see how much I love myself, how much you love yourself, those family members are going to break. And they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I never even knew I was inside of this generational cyclicosis situation. I didn't even know I was in that. I didn't know that that wasn't me. I thought it was something that I went through. Sometimes it is. And it's a little bit, it's both. Let me just say, it's things that you can recall, things you can't recall, and it's deep. And there are things that you're not going to have to do. Let me just tell you, sometimes we go through these things and we say, I got to do this shadow work. I got to go do this, and this. I got to track this person. I got to call this person. Some of y'all don't have the relationships to do that. Some of y'all, you don't need to do that. Some of you need to just make up in your mind right now that if you feel something in opposition of who you are, when you feel that opposition, that you make up in your mind, look, this is not me. And then you make up in your mind and you change that, you transform that energy into what is you. And you be the cycle breaker by your mind. By your mind. You don't have to do so much work. Sometimes all we need to do is just sit and be still with ourselves and spend time with ourselves and realize who we are and who we're not. What energy is ours and what energy was given to us. And now we're transforming the energy that was given to us and we're creating something for us. We're merging it with our energy and it's transforming that energy. It's cleansing that energy. You're cleansing your bloodline. I can just see it just cleansing, just going through this cycle, this process. And the cycle you've been going through already, it has been cleansing it. So you don't have to do nothing else but do what you're doing. And just realize now and have the knowledge now, that's what I'm here to tell you, have the knowledge now, that you're breaking out of this generational cyclicosis. You are. And that word was given to me during this download. It was given to me as I was going through this, feeling your shoulders feeling heavy, feeling like you keep moving forward, but you're moving back, or some things just still seem stuck, like it's not really working out for you. Respiratory issues, poor posture, not understanding and feeling alone and feeling overlooked. That's you. But it's you because during that cycle of you going through this self-discovery, this self-love, and this journey you've been going through, it hasn't been for naught. But since you've been going through that, you've been already cleansing your bloodline. You've been already doing it. So stop being so hard on yourself. Stop putting so much pressure on yourself. You got it. I'm going to come back for another part.